Alright guys, it's your girl Jolie on Jolie TV Global. I'm trying so hard to smile. I'm trying so hard to feel it's all okay. But waking up today is not I'm not going to say it's one of the happiest days of today, because we have lost somebody very important to the society, very important to the kind of world we're living for. A visionary, someone, and I call an angel, whose voice, you know, brings you so close to heaven that you're wondering, are you still on earth? But today we have lost her. I'm talking in the person of Osinachi, Sister Osinachi Nwachukwu. It's very difficult to say rest in peace, but we know that you're with the Lord. God knows the best. It's a very difficult thing for anybody to talk about right now without feeling very sad or emotional, you know. But hey, you came, you saw, you conquered, and you left a very good footprint for all of us to emulate. You left your voice will never go away. You know, you left something very beautiful in our hearts, in the world, in the air, that you will not be forgotten so soon. But well, am I here at this hour to talk about the death of Sister Osinachi? Yes, news flying around said, initially we got the news that she died of brain and throat cancer. Now, within a short period, there was a counter, information stating that she was actually, I don't want to use the word keyword, deleted by her husband. Let me use that word because of Facebook. She was actually deleted by her husband through the process we still call domestic violence. And so I'm going to talk in general because it's still allegedly, we are not sure yet. But however, it seemed, the story seemed very accurate. It seems almost 90% accurate. Because most of what we're hearing is from friends and family. And I've actually spoken to someone who saw her last, and she said to me, I have it on the write-up, she said, the last time she saw her, she had bruises all over her body. You can tell that she was being maltreated very well. And now I'm sitting here and I'm wondering if somebody, I don't know, if somebody as exposed, as well informed like Sister Osinachi could pass through domestic violence and still live in the marriage until eventually took her life. How else are we going to say it? How else are we going to tell, the uneducated ones, how are we going to tell them about domestic violence if someone like that could still stay in that marriage until she breathed her last? So with me on today's production, I've been talking about domestic violence for a long time. I've been speaking about it. I've been talking about it. In fact, I almost, it's almost like I'm asking women to get out, get out, get out. But like I used to say, I don't preach divorce. But like I used to say, if it becomes very toxic, it's better to leave the marriage with your life, than paying with your life. With me on the, I will also like people to call in. I have my number here. You can call in on WhatsApp only if you want to join. You can leave your comment down there. I'm seeing all the comments. Leave your comments. I will read them, and leave your thoughts. Leave your advice, especially to women, because as we speak, there's a lot of women going through the same process and they want to stay in that marriage until they die. So what are we going? We'll keep preaching. We'll keep preaching. They say, let he who have ears, let him hear. We will keep preaching. We've said it in the days, you know. Get out, get out, get out. I don't know. I don't know how I want to take talk and again. Where people will understand what we are preaching. If the marriage is toxic, get the hell out of there. People say, get the hell out of there. Get the hell out of there. Be alive to tell your story. Now we have people telling her story. We don't even know the real story because it never came from her mouth. People knew, those that knew her very well said yes. That I could say that there was a time I noticed a change in her physical look. Because I knew her when she sang the song Ekwebe to be a little bit, not fat to say, but she was a bit chubby. Then I saw her in another video. I could not identify her that much apart from the voice. So I was like, was she sick? What, you know? So, but I think I'm beginning to add 1 + 1 together to understand what is going on. A lot of women are going through the same thing. Emotionally, financially, physically. And they still want to stay there until they die. I'm going to bring in my guest today so that we go talk this thing. Maybe the English way we don't blow since nobody they understand, and maybe other nobody they understand how they take talk and make we Cuba talk and the way we go understand, because I really want to talk to African women, because those in the Western world know what to do. They know when to get out. It's just very few of them want to stay there. Just very few, 2%. But 99.9% of African women want to remain in that marriage, no matter how abusive it is, until it strangles them. Then, if they are lucky, they come out alive. If they are very unfortunate, they end up being like Sister Osinachi right here. Yeah, this is a gospel singer, a woman of God, best known to me, you know, lover of God. At what point can we separate your faith from reality? At what point can we separate your faith from reality? Because sometimes we mix the two together, that we don't understand the difference between the both of them. At what point do we remove that word for better, for worse, till death do us apart? Please, is domestic violence inclusive in that for better, for worse? I don't know, but I'm going to bring in my guest right now so that we go talk and maybe the language every other person will understand. So I have Madam IJ with me so that we will talk a little bit on domestic violence. Hello, Madam IJ, are you online? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
You can hear me.
Yes, I'm hearing you. I'm online. I'm with you.
So, how you they feel hearing this bad news today? How you feel? Because I don't even know how to express it myself. What will be your first reaction as a woman?
My this part is a theme of is a tragedy. It's not something that's supposed to happen to any woman, you know. But you know, it's not a new thing. It has been happening and going on all over the world. And you know, this violence issue of the marriage. It started from somebody to somebody, not even only her, it started. Then even many people are passing through it now, but they believe that it's the law of God. They believe that this is the marriage is so time. They believe that they will stay in the marriage until the death do them part. But for a man to bring in the death by fire, by fox, it's not a good one at all. It's not a good thing to write home about. And you know, many women are passing through it now. It's going on. when you know that the marriage is at this stage, there is a room for separation. There is a room for you to separate yourself when you know that the man is beating you, doing so many things. You know, there is a room for you to say, from now, let me go somewhere until you calm down, till you come back to your normal senses. But many women today, they don't want to hear this word. They don't want to make use of it. They want to be there until they see the end of it. But for me, I was like, so many women are passing through this. They have to button up. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. How you, when someone gets into a marriage, you know, sometimes it happens, sometimes it's backfire. Because me, I don't know much about I don't know much about her own marriage. But truly, a man that marry you properly and other things, you know, no woman before you enter. I don't think that a man is supposed to be maltreating a woman in such a way. But if a man is decided, you know, to do that, the only thing is for you to pick your things and leave.
Pick your things and leave.
Normal persons. Yes.
But you know, most women, you know, say most women, waiting they discourage them the most to come out from such marriages. Now, waiting people go talk. They are, you know, waiting people go talk. If I come out for this marriage, now it make most women want to, you know, stay there until they die. What do you have to say about that? You know, women, they will still be, your fellow women will still be the one to put you down for coming out from such an abusive marriage.
What people must talk.
Yes.
People must talk. God created human being and they create mouth for them to talk. So there is no way you can stop them not to talk. And sometimes you will not mind what people will say. Do what is in your mind that will know, and you know that when you do it, you will satisfy. That when you know that when you do it, you will gain out of it. Don't forget about what people will say. They must say, they must talk. Whether good or bad, they must talk. In a situation like that, don't supposed to be looking at what people will say. Don't, if you want what people will say, you bring in them, let them come and resolve the problem. But if you know that you cannot bring in them to the problem, then why can't you hide your way and leave what they would say?
And I notice, apart from what people will say, you know, another thing that makes most women still stay in such marriages is when there are children involved. You know, if the woman don't want to leave because, you know, what will I do? Especially if that woman has nothing doing. You know, if the woman has nothing doing, where will I go with 1, 2, 3 children? You know, so that alone makes them want to stay in that marriage for a long time. And, you know, they stay in there with the abuser until death do them apart. Because I keep saying that.
Yes. Yes, that's the reason why. To have something doing, they need to feel themselves somewhere.
Can you speak a little bit, madam? Can you speak a little bit louder?
It's supposed to depend on man, because probably if you are working, and if a man decided to be acting in that way, the only thing you can get in your own money and rent a place and carry your children and start getting your own normal life, living your normal life. But when you fold your hand, you know, waiting for the man to do everything, that is where you will be thinking, where will you go? How will I do this? How will I do that? But if you have something reasonable that you are doing that is fetching your money, definitely you must the solution must come. The solution must come. Where you will keep your children, where you will go with your children must be provided.
So, but what do you think about women who feels that, you know, when they are being beaten by their husband, that's a sign of love? You know, when the man beats them well. now love be that, because a lot of women think so. I know, because you know sometimes this abuse we are talking about, it didn't just start in the marriage. You know, they started when they were courting, when they were doing lovey. You know, it started from from there. But most women will feel, number one, they feel that as a sign of love. They feel that the man will change if they eventually get married. The man will change. What do you have to say?
If a man is insulting
if the woman feels it's a sign of love, you know, some women, when the husband is beating them, they feel, oh, because he loved me, that's why they beat me. If they beat me all the time, they look at it like a sign of love. I don't hear them. They say, if you marry the man, no, they beat you. I be saying, no, love you. It sounds stupid, but most women feel it's a sign of love. So that's why you see that they'll beat them. You see bruises. You'll be wondering, what is wrong with this person? Get out. But they'll still be there. They say it's a sign of love, because you know definitely the man will come back and beg and apologize and say, okay, let's continue. Next time again, the beating will double. Another time it will triple. That's why we go to the point, you know, it becomes highly abusive like this.
But where, as soon as the man have started it, as soon as I have laid hand on you,
one time,
he will continue. He will not. There is nothing that will make him to stop. He will continue beating the woman like a baby. How can a man be beating a woman because of you are correct? Even if it's a baby. So I don't see it as a good thing at all. At all. It's not the way of correcting a wife that you know that you marry. Not by beating. So your man not supposed to be laying hand on any woman. But his woman, his wife, at all. So there's a way, even if the wife made a mistake, there is a way you can call her and correct her without beating.
That's true. Okay, would you say, because another thing that a lot of people have been complaining about, they say religion, you know, the kind of church where they go has contributed a lot to encourage, you know, to encourage a woman to stay in a marriage even if it's very abusive. Would you say church or religion has contributed to it? You know, the church, they say stay, pray, robo shabba, pray, it will change. Now, the people from your village, they pursue them, pray for them, you know. Would you say church has contributed, you know, towards that?
Yes. I agree that. It's like when the woman is going different church with a man is going another church.
So, but how come, my problem now is, I don't even want to talk about what the man think or how they feel or what they say to them. I want to talk about the women. Let's leave the men out of it, because hey, we are still the vulnerable one. We are still the weaker sex. So I'm talking about the women now. You are the one in that situation. What if the church you go, if this incident continue happening and you go meet your pastor, say, Pastor, please, this is what is happening to me. What am I supposed to do? And the pastor say, let's pray. You go back home again. After 1 week, the same thing repeats itself. In fact, it's a continuous thing since you got married. Are you not at that point in time? Won't you advise yourself and say, hey, call yourself by your name and say, Jolie, this is time for me to leave. You know?
Yes, no.
But most of them, with their pastors, will keep telling them, you know, be patient. It's the devil's work. It's the devil's work. Be patient. And they will be there. Praying and praying and praying and praying. I don't subscribe to changing. Prayer cannot change it.
Prayer cannot change the man.
No, you see, the thing is that people feel they can change the attitude of a man.
I will find my way.
No, a lot of women, they see this attitude and they feel that he's going to change, because you feel the person will change. The person will not change. This is an attitude. I've said it in my videos. This is an inbuilt attitude for many years. This person, maybe you probably married the man. Let's say You married the man when he was 30 or 35 years old. And you know, and you are just walking into his life after 30 or 35 years old to think you are going to change him in the next 1 to 5 years. It's impossible. He has lived with that character for 30 years. He has lived with that character for 30 years. He will not change. If you like, pray from Jerusalem to Jericho. He will not change.
At all.
You will not change.
Even if a baby, it takes time for you to change a baby's character.
Exactly. For a grown-up man, thinking you are going to change the person by praying. Now, we are not saying prayers don't work, but there are some certain things you take our religion from. You know, it's like going to marry a killer, believing that the person will change. One day, wake up and kill you because that's in his DNA to kill.
It has been part of him
for a very long time. So I don't understand why women. If I open up to you, see, I have series of stories. That's why sometimes I keep talking about this domestic violence like as if it's my private business, you know, because I have series of stories. Like, you know, these are not people I don't know. These are people that live with me. These are people I see as friends. These are relatives. I have a friend, Madam IJ. I have a friend. All her front, the upper teeth, all the front one was taken off by the husband. If you doubt me, I will send me DM me directly. I will connect you with her. She will tell. When she's telling you her story, you will only but just cry all throughout. All the front teeth, all. I was even wondering how he was able to take out each of them one after the other. All the front teeth. Right now, she wears artificial teeth on the front teeth. Domestic violence. I've seen a woman, the husband broke the hand. After 23 years of marriage. Domestic violence.
Just imagine.
I have a story that I also refused to say for a very long time because I'm on the person for a long time. It was also domestic violence. You keep preaching, leave. Maybe we will change. Maybe people from his village, the witches and wizards. For me, they don't believe it's an external fault. But don't forget that the devil will not use someone who is not an instrument.
Even if that would be, you still have a chance, to stay somewhere until we change.
Separation, right? Separation for a while. Yes, if it's not working and you feel, oh, we're not. I'm not even using the word divorce the person. I just say get out. It means you can be separated for a while. Until both of you come to a common ground. You can be out for a while. Let me stay away from this man and see if he will change. You understand? Take him to a higher authority that can watch what he's doing. Because if you keep trying to manage this situation by yourself, if he doesn't kill you physically, he can even one day wake up and poison you, and nobody will know what killed you. You will just die slowly. You will just die slowly. People won't even know what killed you. Assuming because at a point in this lady's story, somebody said that she had throat cancer for a while, maybe like 2 months, before the husband now kicked her on the chest, which led to her being on the life support until she passed out. Hey, we are not ruling out, the fact that anything can happen. Somebody just woke up and you have throat cancer just like that. Yeah. If they try to kill you physically, it's not working. They will try other ways. They will try other ways to delete you. And if you refuse to die, and funny enough, if you refuse to die, that's when they will come physically. Say, okay, since I've tried all means and you refuse to die, let me even kill you with my hands.
I'm telling you.
This woman has 4 children. 4 children who will be motherless. Sometimes, most of the excuses that the women give is that my children, what will they do if I leave them? The man will take the children from me. What will they do without me? Look at it now. They will leave even without you.
We tell her
the speed at which, in fact, what am I even saying? He probably even have a woman already to marry. He's just waiting for you to, you know, some people were, because of church doctrine, they don't want to be called, oh, he went and married a second wife. So they prefer to remove the first one by force so that the second one can come in. The second wife will come in, whether you like it or not.
If the second wife come in without asking questions, that's the same thing that he did for the first one.
Yeah, because the same broom. They said there's an adage that said the same broom that they use.
The way of asking, they need to ask questions
before getting into a marriage.
Many ladies out there, they need to ask questions. Ask questions. Ask the man's family background. Ask the man's character and attitude before you enter. Do you understand? Marriage is not something that you just enter without knowing in and out of it, of the man, of the family.
So women, they know. They know that they know the history, and they still exactly that's phrase of I'm going, when I get there he will change, or he loves me so much that he's going to change. It don't work that way.
What of the one that happened recently? The man wanted to beat the wife, and the wife carried a baby of 2 months. The man was dragging the baby to collect the baby from the wife's hand so that he can be able to beat the wife. On the process of dragging 2 months baby from the woman's hand, the hand just break. The hand of the baby break. So in that scenario, now what will happen?
That person is, and don't be surprised that the wife will even cover the husband up, so that the world will not even hear what happened. You know, we are good at covering the man for a very long time until it becomes worse. Let the baby. Once the man begs for 1 minute, just watch. She's going to forgive immediately, and nobody will hear exactly because that's.
And the baby will
because you know one thing you should know about all these violent men. They are very manipulative. You know. They are highly manipulative. They know how to beg you so that you will forgive and life continues until the day they will kill you. They can beg. That's one of their characteristics. They can beg. You will. They will promise you heaven and earth. I won't do it. If I do it, make I die. For where they will still do it.
See how they destroy the baby hand, just like that. All in the name of they want to fight.
So, I don't know how else to, say to women to get out of abusive marriage.
They need to wake up. They need to wake up. They need to wake up in marriage. They need to wake up because men now, when they have their sugar ladies outside, the one that is at home will be useless. They will not be regarding the person as anything again. You know. But once you notice such thing, you have to wake up. You have to tell the man that that thing that he's thinking is not what you are. You have to, bring yourself to the middle stage.
No, what I'm saying is my message is clear. I always have one message. If you are in a very toxic relationship, highly abusive, when I mean highly abusive, you are emotionally abused. I'm repeating myself. These are things I've said in my previous video. Some men, they don't beat you, but what they say to you is capable of killing you in 2 seconds. Some men, they don't beat you. You know that, madam. You know that sometimes they don't even beat you, but what they will say to you, you will think about it until you die. If it becomes highly emotional, yeah, they won't beat you. There's some words that are stronger than even beating, Some is financial, because I heard too, allegedly, that money was part of it. All the money she makes had to go to the man's account, and the man will approve how much she needs to spend, but she's the one making the money.
How she will spend it.
And how she will spend it, and where she goes to sing or not. So some of them are financially very abusive. They want to take charge of the money. There's nothing wrong if it's a mutual agreement and both of you are very open to it, to each other, then why not? But if it's one-sided, then there's something is wrong.
But why is he interested in the woman money?
Because he's an abuser. Because he's an abuser. They don't know it. They don't have a limit. Okay, there's a story that said that there was a time he tied her up, told her to kneel down, and asked the children to flog her. A woman, do you know the shock is that it seems like a story I would hear from maybe a very, very timid woman. When I mean timid, young girl that is about, maybe they just got married to her, she's 16 or 17 or maybe 18 years old young girl from one village that probably don't even know how to speak English or you don't even understand anything. That's if they say that, if that was, you know, a story of somebody like that, I would probably say, okay, he's a very timid person, she don't know much. But for a woman that is as exposed as this woman, it's very difficult to believe, you know. So when it gets to that point, emotional, financial, then it becomes physical. They will slap you the first time, you think he's not going to slap you. Then if he gives you the first slap, the next one, it will be very thunderous on your ears. And if he slaps you the second time, it will go graduate from slapping to punching. Then he fights. You know, you see some men, they fight their wife like they're fighting their fellow men. You understand? Before he's struggling you. If you don't allow it to get to that point, don't allow it to get to. He will not change. And if you need him to change, give him space. Get out of there. Give him space. Let him live by himself and change. When he has changed and it's proven that he has changed, then you can come back and see if both of you can live together or not.
If beating has become part of him, if you are not around, then he will look for the next person. He will look for the next person
to beat. So
yes,
you give him space. Get out of there alive.
Let him start beating himself now.
And those men, match them up with their fellow men. They can't fight. They are only just strong when they have somebody they feel.
When they reach
and they are always very lucky with very respectful women, very down to earth women. They are always blessed with those kind of women. That's why you see them very abusive.
Both of the young ladies out there now that are into a relationship that even the man friend is still beating them. The fiancé, when they have not even married yet, my advice is still beating them at that point.
My advice still remains the same. My advice still remains the same. If the person is the same when you are still cutting, he's not going to change. He will rather become worse in marriage. Because when he gets to marriage, he feels you are going nowhere. Because you know, the African mentality, what will the world say if I go now? They will call me a divorcee. Look at her, she's divorced, jumping from one man to another. They will give you all the bad names in the world. But look at it, you are alive. Just remember that you are alive. If you're out, you are alive. But if you're there and you die like this lady, who will tell your story? So if you see, abusive men, they didn't just start in marriage. I said it in my videos. They didn't start in marriage. It started when they were courting, doing boyfriend and girlfriend. You go down, they beat him. You go down, they beat him. It is in a love. He beat you, say, I love me, that's why they beat me like that, you know. But not knowing that this is part of him. This is part of who he is. He's inbuilt in him. He's not going to change. He will rather get worse. He would rather get worse. So there's no need. It's better. They said a broken relationship is even better than a broken marriage. It's better for you to have a broken relationship and have a broken marriage.
Once they notice such thing, they have to invite human rights. They have to invite them.
But you are in Nigeria. Mind you are in Nigeria and you know what happens. Your husband they beat you. Madam, go home, Jerry. Now family problem. It's so
no,
it's
not taking it now serious though. Women right now, they are taking it serious.
They are going to take it serious. They are taking it serious now because a lot of us are shouting and a lot of people are complaining. But I think the best solution is still yourself. You that is in the relationship, you are in the position to change it. To change it. I've seen, you know, look at the other day, 2 days ago, there's a Nigerian American that was stabbed by the girlfriend. She's walking, she's not in jail anymore. They only handcuffed her that day, even though they saw her with blood all over her body. They only handcuffed her for that day. She had been bailed. The guy is dead. And according to neighbors, that their relationship has been very toxic. They've known them to be, and this is just boyfriend and girlfriend. Now the guy is dead. The girl is free. So that is why it is better for you to leave at the early stage. While the sun is shining. Leave at the early stage. Forget about what people will say. Now, person where they are alive, now you go fit tell the story. She's dead now. I even when I heard she died of throat cancer, I was just bitter. I was like, oh, what kind of sickness is this? Not knowing that it's something like this. Just removed from this world. Somebody just woke up and decided, I want to turn off your lights. That was exactly what they did to this. He did to this lady.
Very bad. Somebody.
But
no reason that is the one that.
I'm speaking in general. I'm speaking in general because the story is still allegedly, but it looks more. It looks like real anyway. It looks like a true story. It looks like a lot of people have confirmed it that they've known her as someone who is being abused by the husband for a long time. So we are speaking in general for those of us still in a marriage that is being, they have highly been abused. If you are in a relationship that you have been abused, now get out of there. If you're in a marriage that you are being abused, very toxic, step out a little bit. There's nothing wrong giving yourself breathing space. If it works out in the long run, fine, you come back. But if you don't, they know they carry marriage go heaven. No? There's no Mr. and Mrs. Okafor. Mr. and Mrs. Okafor coming. There's nothing like that. Yeah, there's nothing like that. You will come. The Bible said, all man to himself. You will come before the Lord by yourself. And so, and you don't want to go there and the Lord is even blaming you for being there. Because there's this inner spirit that would have told her, please, step out a little bit. And her faith, her belief, she keep believing that the man was going to change. And he will never change.
But she has gone for it now.
Exactly. She has paid with her life.
And the man will continue, he will continue believing normal life.
Of course, now, of course. Of course. Except if the Nigerian or the police authority or wherever.
No matter what they did, no matter how they do and everything, one day he will come out now. And get another woman that he'll be very obedient to. You don't have to be a guinea pig for anybody. You don't have to be a guinea pig for anybody. I keep saying it. You don't have to be a guinea pig for anybody. Don't sacrifice your life for anybody. Jesus has already done that. So who do you want to sacrifice your life for? Nobody. If your marriage is toxic, please leave. But Jimmy, do you know that there are some women that beat their husband?
Yes, but that's like 5%. I have a story too like that. The wife is the abuser. But there's no way a woman will keep beating you like a man. The men are stronger. But we are not saying there are no abusive women. Of course they are. It's still the same thing. I've still said the same thing. I told, because that person was close to me, I said, walk out. You know, there's no type of allegation that she did not label on him. I was like, get out. You know, at a point, she keep telling people, they looked at the guy as somebody who has a mental issue. To the point that even when she complains, they say, go and get help from the hospital. You need help. But he was okay, not knowing that the woman is the abuser. And I said the same thing. If your wife is abusing you, the same thing, you walk out. Leave, the children will be fine. If you have money, support her. You know, but don't be there, because one day you might get so angry that, you know, it will go out of control. And if you kill somebody, nobody will know that you have been the abuser for a long time. So that will be it for today's show. Thank you so much, Miss IJ, for being with me on today's live. Thank you, everybody that has been online. Thank you so much. Please leave your comments. Please share and have a blessed day. It's a sad one, and I say rest in peace to our sister Osinachi Nwachukwu. Thank you for being a blessing to this world. Thank you so much.